Hello, I am Paula Bennett and welcome to my podcast, Ask Me Anything. I've gone through plenty of ups and downs in my life and have learned a lot along the way. But now that I've got a midlife crisis reinvention under my belt, I know it's never too late to learn something new. That's why on this podcast, I'm going to be talking to Kiwis from all walks of life to hear about how they got to where they are and get some advice and guidance on some of life's biggest questions. Now, my guest today possibly knows me better than most people or has out me more than most people, hopefully not in a stalker kind of way, but we'll find out. He's an incredibly talented comedian, actor, TV host, author, playwright, director, screenwriter, and impersonates people. Have I left anything out? He's known as the Snapchat dude, my friend Tom Sainsbury.
What a wonderful introduction. Thanks, Paula.
Thank you.
You definitely missed nothing out.
Well, you sure? Wow.
Friend, lover.
I was going to say we could go friend, lover, son, couldn't we?
Yeah, we could.
We could do all of those. Okay, so Tom, I like to do my housekeeping first.
Yes.
2 easy rules.
Yeah.
Rule number 1, I'm allowed to ask you anything.
Yes.
And I suppose it works in reverse.
Great.
But you don't have to answer.
I'm full disclosure.
Okay.
I like to be open about all those kind of things. Maybe when it's asking about other people, maybe not. You know, you've got to be a bit guarded about your nearest and dearest because they haven't chosen this lifestyle, as they say.
And no judgy.
No judgy.
Yeah,
okay.
absolutely no judgment.
Of course.
Right. So we're going to get to know Tom a little bit better. Also get some advice around social media and those parodies. But Tom, we need a bit of a warm-up.
Love it.
Okay, so we're going to start with some of the icebreaker questions. Do you prefer Tom, Thomas, Tommy, Sainsy?
Oh, good. Yeah?
Come on. What's the preferred name?
Probably Tom.
Yeah, you use
Yeah,
Tom, don't you?
I was Thomas until I was 18, and then I chose to make the decision to be Tom when I left home. But then I'm like, there are a lot of Toms. I should have stuck with Thomas. It's a bit more unique, but I'm Tom.
Well, I like Tom. So have you got a nickname?
Sainso, that kind of...
Good old Kiwi say.
Yeah, exactly. Or Tombo. I get called Tombo. Also, Mad Dog. I worked on a show called Sank Masters, and we tried to push Mad Dog as a nickname, and it kind of stuck with the crew.
Okay.
Mad Dog.
Do you know my nickname from school?
No.
I feel like you know so much about me.
I know. I probably do. What is it?
No, not many people do, because I really, when I was particularly a cabinet minister, I didn't think it was very becoming as a nickname. So when I was from a wee child and right through school and still with family and very old friends, my nickname was Pooh with an H, because I'm Pooh Bear, PB.
Cute. Yeah, I like
So my
it.
nieces and nephews call me Auntie Pooh.
Oh my God, this is great. It's cute.
So for me, it's an absolute term of endearment.
Yeah.
But I think that when you're a cabinet minister and one a little bit controversial, people calling you Pooh might mean you're shit.
With Winnie the Pooh, do we know what Pooh means? Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh. No.
No, okay.
No. But I did name my own company after Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
Because he has this absolutely wonderful saying, and he says, I don't like big, complicated words. I like simple words like, what about lunch?
Great.
So I called it up. Anyway, we're taking far too long. If you could eat only one meal for the rest of your life?
Probably sourdough with butter.
Oh, God.
Just those two.
Good.
And tiramisu for dessert.
Oh, my God, so good. And what's your go-to karaoke song?
Oh, good. Good question. Oh, House of the Rising Sun.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, it's a bit of a ballad and quite long, but, you know, it's... I also like I Saw the Sign by Ace of Base. It's always a good one that gets people up and dancing.
Yeah, because you want something either people sing along to or they will dance, don't
everyone
you?
get up, Yeah, absolutely. What's yours?
I don't know, I've got quite a lot. Favourite New Zealand comedian?
Oh, my gosh.
I know, puts you on the spot, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, my friend Chris Parker probably would be it. He just makes me, every time I hang out with him, he just makes me laugh and laugh and laugh. Chris
he's
Parker.
funny.
Yeah.
He's funny, and at many different levels funny too.
Yes, and tickles me no end.
Because he's not afraid to absolutely act the fool, and yet he's actually very clever and very intellectual as well and deep. Yeah,
you got it.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, so comedy is a really good place to start. So do you think you're funny?
God, question. Do I think I'm funny? I think I understand comedy quite well, and I think I have been funny at times. I don't think I'm the funniest. I don't think I'm the funniest person. I hang out with all my friends are much funnier than I am, and my family's a lot funnier than I am. So that's a roundabout question.
It's a hard one to answer, really. Yeah.
I do think I'm funny, but not the funniest.
Okay. So you mentioned your family. So you grew up in Matamata. So
that's right.
Did you realise you were funny as a kid?
I remember laughing like every day at school right up until when I left. Like every day I would be laughing with my friends hysterically until, I must have had such great abs just from laughing so much. But me, myself, wasn't so much generating the comedy. It was more hanging out, as it is now, hanging out with the funny people, and I would kind of encourage them to be more funny. So I'm more of a director of comedy than the performer of comedy.
So you don't need to be that front,
No.
but you can do the lines and you get how to get the best out of other people.
You got it. So I was never the class clown, but I was the class clown encourager. Yeah.
Interesting. I often used comedy, but more as a bit of an intellectual wit. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I used it to try and play off other people and...
Well, I mean, it is such a useful tool, isn't it? You can alleviate a situation with comedy, or you can really cut someone down with comedy, can't you? So...
When I was going for deputy leader of the National Party,
Yes.
I remember one of my colleagues who decided I wasn't the right person. He said to me, "You use humour too much instead of actually addressing a problem head on."
Really? What, when they were what? This was when you were going to be deputy?
Yeah, so they would be voting for me. So I was going around trying to get people to vote for me.
And he was saying, I'm not going to vote for you. They said, I'm not going to vote for you because you use humour too much. And then you skirt around the issue.
It's quite interesting.
That's really interesting. I would say that comedy is more sometimes the best way to get right to the heart of the issue.
So did you have other career options or aspirations as that kid from Matamata and then thinking about what direction you were going to go in?
100%. Like, I'm a huge animal lover, so being a vet was definitely an option. And I'm also, David Attenborough's my hero, so doing something along the lines of filming animals was also an option. Well, of course it's not an option. Few people do it, but I fancied that as an idea too. But looking back now, in hindsight, it was always a performer. It all ticked the boxes that I was heading that way. I just wasn't aware of it.
So when was the first time you kind of stood on stage and performed to a group of people?
My school did the nativity play for Christmas, and the teachers went around going, "We need 3 wise men." And I was like, I'm too cool to do drama. And then, so my friends did it, and I didn't. I sat in the audience going, I could do such a better job than these guys. And I was like, why didn't I do it? And that's when I suddenly realised that's what I want to do. And then the following year, I went to see Little Shop of Horrors at the Matamata Dramatic Society. And I wrote a sequel called Little School of Horrors, which was basically exactly the same storyline but set in a school. And then I made my class perform it. So I distinctly remember that one.
Oh, you were right into it.
Yeah.
I played Rizzo.
Oh, my God.
From Greece at my school.
It's so perfect.
So perfect.
So perfect.
It wasn't even acting, let's be honest.
Perfect.
It was, yeah, absolutely. So where does your material come from? Me?
Paula Bennett is a big part of the pie graph. I think my comedy comes from observations mostly, and so it's hanging around people, hearing the way they talk, hearing the issues that they're dealing with, following people on social media and seeing what they're talking about, watching memes and things like that, and it becomes all a big soup in my brain that produces things. So kind of from everything, but it's mostly human behaviour and human psychology.
Because my observation would say that you're also quite an introverted guy at some level and sensitive.
Yes.
So how do you kind of use that, and do you enjoy the profile that comes with you being as famous as you are now?
I think that like the observational kind of comedy is from being an outsider, probably. Like that's my whole shtick, so I'm probably more attuned to observing because I've been an outsider. The profile that comes with it, it's the majority of people that come up to me are absolutely lovely, so I do enjoy that. It's also really good because if you go to a party, because I used to be so intimidated about going to parties and things like that, but if people know who you are, you've already got a conversation starter to begin with, because people know who you are, or they can talk about their favourite video, or they can talk about my career, and therefore you've made a friend instantly. So it is good in that sense.
And as you say, people are generally really lovely and really kind.
Correct,
and
yeah. Yeah.
I remember a couple of comedian friends, and they sort of say people are kind of disappointed that you're not like really funny, right?
Yeah.
You know, where's the joke?
Yes.
You know, and it's like, oh.
Yes, absolutely. People expect me to be a wine-drinking, life of the party kind of guy, but I'm definitely not that. I'm more like sitting down and talking to one person at the party.
Yeah.
And nursing a wine, and only one because I get drunk so quickly.
Some people that used to approach me, and I used to think, oh, I'm just so ordinary. It must be so disappointing.
No, you turn it on, Paula. I know you turn it on.
Oh, you know. Anyway, so on social media, you never address the camera as yourself. It's always as one of your characters. Why?
Oh, yeah. Why? Awkwardness. It's a good question. I think because my tone is always taking the mickey, being serious for a moment just doesn't feel right.
Well, you're so going to talk about this more because is there something slightly weird that you're more comfortable being me than you were to a camera than you were being yourself?
I know. I don't know what the deep psychology of that is, Paula, but it is weird. It is weird.
Okay. You've just got back from the States, haven't you?
I have.
Have you been eyeing up a move or what's on the cards there?
Yeah, so I went over for 6 weeks because I've got a manager over there, and so they kind of look after your career or they give you suggestions and things, and then you've got to have an agent who looks after all the business side. I can't work over there because I don't have a visa as yet, but I was over there having a few meetings, but also just to experience the lifestyle and also just to, I guess, have a holiday and a change of scene. And so I had a few really good meetings and things. Nothing's kind of definite, but I've been really enthused to create more, and I had a great time of just living in a different culture and experiencing new types of people. So
I love the States.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of the States.
Yeah, because you can have such a different experience no matter where you go, and you can literally drive for like an hour and a half and meet completely different people.
A completely different culture, and I also love just the culture of no one really cares about, like, no one cares about you. You can just do, people are walking around, especially in California, just completely dressed how they want to be, and they just do their thing, and there doesn't seem to be the same self-awareness or self-consciousness that is in New Zealand, I think.
We can be a bit like that, can't we?
I think so.
What image do I portray?
Exactly, you got it. So when did you go to the States?
I spent 7 weeks there. I won an Eisenhower Fellowship.
That's right,
and it was massive.
It
was life-changing for me, actually.
Yeah, in California?
No, all over, right? So I went to something like 26 different states in that 7 weeks.
Amazing.
And I travelled alone, and I spent a lot of time alone.
Yeah.
And so that was really good for me. So the experience, but equally, you know, there's nothing like being quite in your own head and being able to really, you know, it gave me a completely different view of New Zealand.
Yeah.
And it gave me genuine time to
100%.
think and,
yes.
you know,
so much meditation time and contemplation.
Yeah. So you're looking at the States. Is the thought of moving there quite daunting? And you're in a relationship, aren't you? So you're not just potentially moving yourself, and you're close to your family, and it's,
Oh, yes, it's absolutely daunting. I've kind of taken the pressure off a little bit in the sense that the whole thing could be a complete failure, but I've still had like a really amazing life experience. Like, a huge failure in the States is still a life experience that I would cherish. But, it's hugely daunting, and going to these meetings and stuff, and Americans are so good at talking about themselves and talking about their projects and things like that, and I'd be going to these meetings and just kind of sitting there going, I've done this, well, I haven't really done much in New Zealand, and that kind of stuff. It was a culture shift.
Yeah, the humble thing, eh?
Yeah. The humble thing, they just don't get it.
No.
They don't understand it, and I used to think it was brash. I used to think Americans were brash and all that kind of stuff, but it's not. It's business. You've got to just communicate what you do. But there is a lot of talking up over there. Like the projects that these people are working on, you're like, is it that huge? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, well, good luck. And as you say, it's exciting because who knows? And what's the worst that can happen is you go and you have an experience and you come home and we love you here, so that's easy.
Yeah.
Okay, so out of all of your roles, TV, social media, books, plays, stand-up, what would be your dream full-time career out of all of them?
The ones that I've already created. I would love if Wellington Paranormal, so I did 4 seasons of Wellington Paranormal, and so if that got, by some miracle, happened again, I'd love to do that. And
why? Because it was fun? Or
it was just, it was my dream job. It was just like hanging out with people that I really liked, and the goal was to have fun and to be funny, and like they would just each scenario was so ridiculous, and we'd have monsters and prosthetics and weird stunts and things.
And they had very clever writing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a big fan, right? And I can watch it again. It's one of those, and I can pick something up that I didn't see the first time I watched it.
And that's also, I think that's like Jermaine is a genius. I genuinely think he's really very clever at comedy, because he was always there on set, even if he wasn't directing or something, and he would just come and just tell you something to do or change your performance in a way, and it would just be like perfect.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so you do have a busy schedule with it all. What is your top tip for juggling everything, and how do you choose what to say yes or no to?
These are good questions. I've learnt this hard way that you need a day off, because I would try and originally it would be like 7 days a week, try and fill it all up and stuff. But if you don't take a break, your body will take a break. Someone told me that once. Unfortunately, you need a day of doing nothing, and that frustrated me for a long time of not being productive, but you do, so that has really helped me. What was the next part of the question?
What do you say yes or no to?
Oh yeah, I tend to say yes to everything because I'm a people pleaser, and also even if things are not like in line with my career or something, it's all about life experience. And so you might be doing this strange gig emceeing an event with teachers down in the Wairarapa somewhere. But like, what an amazing thing for me in my career to go to the Wairarapa, to be put up there and meet all these people and they share this story. Like, it's just beautiful. It's beautiful research and fodder. And that's the good thing about my job, is that I'm essentially always work. Like, everything is work.
Yeah. So are you a practicing Buddhist?
I am a practicing Buddhist, yes.
Wow. So I feel like I don't know anything about it. I feel like you should be in robes and sitting here cross-legged, because it's just not something I know anything about.
Yeah, well, it's similar to Christianity in the sense that there are different, like there's the Catholic version, there's all the different denominations of Buddhism. And the one that I specifically follow is Nichiren Buddhism, or SGI, Soka Gakkai, which is a Japanese form. And so back in the 1200s, this guy kind of researched all the religions that were available to him, Christianity, Muslim and Buddhism and things, and then he found that there was one sutra which is like a passage that really spoke to the meaning of life, and he kind of expanded on that. And so the practice just involves chanting and doing community activities and reading philosophy.
So were you looking for something and then found that, or did you find it, or did it find you?
It found me. I was dating a Buddhist at the time. I was also working independently, working with a Buddhist who they practice the same ones, and I kind of just sat down with it, and I'm like, it all makes complete sense to me. And the one thing I can't get my head around is reincarnation, which is a big thing about Buddhism, but just the life philosophies and things, I'm like, yes, this is in keeping with what I believe. And the main thrust of it is the phrase that you chant is Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, which translates to, how I interpret it, is it's a lotus grows from mud. So basically you can take anything bad and make good out of anything bad. Okay.
Yeah. My grandmother fiercely believed in reincarnation.
Really?
Yeah, she was a very, very interesting woman.
And did it pass on to you?
Well, yeah, she was a huge influence in my life growing up.
Yes.
And she went on a quest to find the meaning of life, if you like, which was extraordinary in like the 1950s, married, and very conservative, married.
Of course.
And she left these boys and off she went. She always used to say to me, I went searching for the answers and they were always inside of me.
Yeah.
Spirituality, your beliefs are actually there.
Was she the one that said that you should have been a drag queen?
Yeah.
Yes. What was her name?
Yeah, Elsa.
Elsa?
Yeah.
Oh,
and of course she had all these weird and eccentric and lovely people and, and had lots of wonderful gay friends. And of course back then it was not traditional, right?
Where did she live?
In the Waikato, and they were like mushroom farmers.
Amazing.
So that's what I mean. So that, as you would know, Mata, not far, right?
No.
And you would just go so conservative in so many ways, and yet she was so sort of eccentric, which we would now see as the norm, but for her time.
Of course. Before her time.
Yeah,
what a beautiful woman.
Yeah, really. Well, yeah, she was also, she had a quick tongue.
Okay,
we're going to take a short break, and then when we come back, if that's all right, Tom, we're going to ask you some advice, advice about social media, how people might make a career out of it, how you have, and what it's done for you.
Perfect.
right, we're back with Tom Sainsbury and we are going to talk about your area of expertise and get some advice. A bit of a social media for dummies guide is what I'm thinking, because I need it, to be really blunt. Between Facebook and Instagram, you have over 200,000 followers. So what was the key to growing that following?
Yeah, the consistency of creating something that people can engage with. Advice I would give to people is at least once a week post something. I love when you post fishing stuff for some. I'm into that, so any fishing material I'm here for. But also what you're creating can't be much of an effort. And what I mean by that is, like, you might be an artist that always creates these paintings and puts them up on social media and stuff, but there's a lot of time and effort. I think the pleasure and why I've been able to continue doing mine is that it only takes 20 minutes to make a video and just chuck it up. And it doesn't require too much of me, because if there's a lot of work involved, it would become this blockage in my brain and then I'll just stop doing it.
So I don't do videos now because I've got nothing to say. But when I was in politics, doing a video was actually easier and quicker than writing something and then trying to find the photos and then trying to.
Yeah.
I could go 2 minutes to camera.
Yeah. And get it all out there.
Say what I wanted to say.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then move on.
But I think the consistency and low effort is the key to social media success.
And is that both on Insta and Facebook, or?
Yes, it is. It's also thinking about who your audience is also helpful. And so mine are mostly Gen X women. And so just like, what do they enjoy? So just, I mean, the ones that appeal to them are always the ones that do most successfully.
So that brings us, of course, to the parodies of me.
Yes.
So why me?
So I did the whole broad spectrum of politicians, right, to begin with. And the one that always did so well was the Paula Bennett videos. So they were the ones that, like, people engaged with them, shared them and all that kind of stuff, much more than all the others. And so that's how it became.
Why do you think that is?
People said it's because my Paula Bennett was like the gossipy auntie that everyone has.
Yeah, and you kind of did definitely get characteristics of me.
That was from just watching you. Watching you.
Well, that's what I mean. That's why I started with. That was the only thing because it never upset me, right? Because it's a bit like life. I mean, you know, you can choose your reaction kind of thing. You can't choose what happens, but you can choose how you react to it. And I've said to you in the past that it did open me up to a generation, a bit like you were saying when you go to a party and someone will come up and talk to you.
Yes.
Or literally people that had zero interest in politics would come up and go, oh, you know, do you want a panini?
Yeah.
God, if I heard, do you want a panini or a bowl latte?
I apologise from the bottom of my heart for that, for paninis and bowl lattes.
There was about 3 years there. Like, it's not like it was just a month or two.
No.
Like, literally about 3 years.
Yeah.
I still occasionally get the panini.
It was 6 months solidly up to the 2017. And then together you and I won, the following year, we won the Bird of the Year, the Kiriru.
I still love them.
So do I. I love them too.
So do you think it's because, favourite gossipy aunt, and you definitely got the infliction?
I think it was just a storm in a teacup of everything was coming. Like, I think you were in the news a lot at the time, obviously, and the current issues that we were talking about together were on people's minds. So I think it was all the elements. So
there are moments when you would freak me out. Like, I would literally have had a conversation in my office. I don't know why, but I remember one about a new top that I'd bought, and I was literally, my staff were like, oh, that's a lovely top. And I was like, oh, I know, and I just picked it up as a cheapie. And the weekend, I just thought, oh, it's a great colour, so it'll just be a bit of fun. And literally the next day, oh, do you like my new top from Farmers? We were in sync. Well, I used to say, if one of you is a spy for Tom Sainsbury,
oh my God,
come out now and tell me.
Oh my God.
And then I used to, you know, as he recording me, and yeah. No,
never. I was never spying on you. Never saw you in the flesh. It was always just watching interviews and reading this. I've talked to you about it before. There was this beautiful article about you at home with Paula where you took out the steak instead of the mince. Can you remember what I'm talking about? And that's when I fell in love with you.
Oh, Oh, there were moments when, even recently, I did Dry July and I was trying to explain it to a friend and I wasn't successful for the whole month. And so then I was trying to say that I was just doing dry Chardonnay, because Chardonnay is my drink of choice. But
no.
I wasn't drinking Chardonnay was what I meant.
Yes,
but she thought I meant I'm only drinking dry wines. And I'm not kidding. So we had this whole conversation about it and me over-explaining.
Yeah.
And the very next day,
Fiona
was
doing dry Chardonnays, was it? She was doing dry wines. Yeah,
dry wines.
Yeah,
because she thought that's what Dry July. Yeah,
we're in sync.
You still do get me. So, how did you feel then when people like me and Simon left politics? Do you do many politicians now?
I do, but not as much. It seems to be when there is an election happening is when it all gets exciting and it's in everyone's mind. So that's when the videos do well. No, it was really sad the day that you left. It was really sad the day Simon left as well, just because I had you guys down. But hopefully someone else will, like Chris Luxon's quite an interesting character. The whole James Shaw thing about leadership, that was quite an interesting time as well. So there's still bits happening.
Yeah. Do you worry about upsetting people?
Yeah, hugely. Like, when you did a reaction video to me, I was like, no one will ever see any of these videos. I'll never get in trouble and all that kind of stuff. But then people watch them and stuff like that. I was like, oh boy. But I think I've struck lucky for myself with politicians is that they usually have a good sense of humour about themselves. Their skin's usually tougher and stuff like that. I haven't really had a terrible reaction from someone that I've parodied before.
Yeah, that's good.
But I have had bad reactions from their fans and things reacting to it.
Yeah. Yeah, some people take things so damn seriously, don't they?
Yeah.
You've got to help them move on a bit, I think. So you said your videos take about 20 minutes to make?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you sort of do it and then cut.
That's right, edit it together and change their voice or whatever, and then just upload it. So it's all up. Some of them can take a bit longer. If I have to do a specific parody of a person, like I do spend quite a bit of time just listening to their voice and trying to hear their inflections and things like that.
So do you make money out of social media?
I do, in the sense that sometimes I do paid partnerships with companies and things like that, or I make content for them specifically. But in terms of my videos, they don't. I've chosen it that way because I just want to be able to drop it at any moment. I don't want to be beholden to anyone with my social media. There have been situations where I could set up a Patreon or something like that where people could give me money and things, but I still feel I don't want that.
Mm. But then if people did want to make money off social media, because there are, right? There's influencers. And
correct.
So they're either paid to push a brand or they've got advertising that's associated with their videos. Is that right?
That's right. And it's usually, if you can get to a stage where you've got quite a few followers, it's good to hand that over to a manager or to an agent in New Zealand, and they can take care of that kind of stuff, and they can field people approaching you for it. So when I do paid partnership, it's the companies usually approaching my agent.
Yeah. And so have someone manage that side for you, particularly if you're a creative, because then you just be creative.
You got it, Paula.
And they can then do the management behind it.
100%.
Yeah, that makes sense. Best platform to use?
For me, it would be Instagram. I love TikTok. I love watching TikTok, but I do get into, you've got to be so brief. Do you follow TikTok?
No, I'm too old.
It's so quick. You've got to get the punchline. People flick through so quickly. I love Facebook because people tend to spend more time with it. You can build the character, you can build the story and all that kind of stuff. But Instagram would be my favourite, I think.
So social media has changed so much over time. For better, for worse, what's your opinion?
I think that it has the potential for bad, and sometimes I can slip into that. But for me, like the people that I choose to follow, it improves my day. Like I follow specific comedy pages and specific art pages, and also dogs and cats, and like that just brings me joy. And some of my friendships are adult friendships with people are just sharing comedy or a cat meme with someone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's good. I think it's also really good because, those people that are like your distant cousin or your friend that you were kind of friends with, you can still have a sense of what's going on in their world. I think obviously the negative things are body image and things like that, especially for young kids.
Yeah.
and how to live your life. And I think that is detrimental.
I've still got too much politics on mine, and I feel bad.
Muting. Don't mute that. Honestly, when I found muting, Paula, mute them because you're still following them,
right? But I feel bad. So what I did was I follow the Jasons, and it just gives me so much joy because you're sort of scrolling through, and then up pops Jason Mimosa looking at you, or Jason Stratham. Or, I don't know. I just think there's a lot of probably my age group. Well, they're a bit younger, but you know what I mean. I think there's just for me, it's hot Jasons.
Yeah, I love that.
And then up pops these handsome faces just really randomly amongst Happy Father's Day, and I'm like, oh yes, Daddy, happy.
Do they just happen to be hot and called Jason, or do you think Jason is a hot name, Paula?
No, I don't think Jason is a hot name.
What do you think is a hot name?
Oh, I don't know. Wouldn't you go like Lance or
Lance?
I don't know. Like
I love
a bit
that.
more. So I just notice for good-looking men. Yeah. I was like, it's about 4 Jasons that I like.
Yeah.
And then I found a page that was Watch the Jasons.
Perfect.
So the dark side of social media, and you touched on it a little bit, was more the fans of your characters, or how do you kind of manage that, and what advice would you give to people to manage it?
I've switched off. People can't message me anymore, and it's sad because, it's literally 19 of them are good and one of them is a bad message. And so you get these lovely messages from people that I no longer get. But that one bad message I just don't have the fortitude. It would always kind of hurt or ping or, sting. And so I've just turned off messages, and I do highly recommend that. I still keep comments, and because the tricky thing is I still want to engage with my audience, and I love engaging with them. And especially with Instagram, like some of the comments that people put are just so funny and so on with carrying on the gag that I've set up. And so I love that. So I always try and make an effort of just reading and replying within the first half hour what people have said, and then just kind of training myself not to look at it from then on.
And so it's a difference with the messages because they're coming to you more privately.
Yeah.
And it feels like that's meant for you.
That's
whereas
right.
a comment is actually meant for the whole audience.
That's right. I haven't had terrible messages. I've had people that have reacted really badly to the subject matter of a video. And I usually can read that. I'm like, okay, that's what they're kind of dealing with. I've struck a particular nerve with them. But there's also things like reading things like, this is the ones that really hurt me are ones like, this is the first funny one in ages. Like that kind of that backward compliment, backhanded compliment.
But I really like that advice, which is take away the messages side.
Yeah.
Because I can
see
how
done that.
No, I haven't.
Do you read your messages?
Yeah, but I'm not good. So I genuinely don't live my life through social media. So I can leave it for 2 weeks.
Yeah, good.
And do nothing, and I can not post. And,
good.
I'm not my career, but, I'd probably get more followings if I actually took your advice, which was be active and do something every week. But I can quite happily go 2 months without doing anything.
Yeah.
And so that's my final question on this bit then is, do you detox? Do you take time from social media?
It's more, no, I don't. And I should do that more. But occasionally I spend I'm like midday onwards for the rest of the day, you're not going to touch it. Not like I'm going to take 2 weeks off. It's more like for the afternoon I'm not going to.
You are good though at being in a moment, and you are genuinely interested in other people. And I know that because we do the TV show together, right? Yes. So, we spend a few days pretty much from...
And it's my dream, Paula and Hillary, I love it.
Pretty much from 8 in the morning till sort of 6 at night, we're hours. And I notice that you're not always on your phone, or, you don't have to be keeping up with what the comments or the messages are. You can, you're in the moment of, hanging out with Hillary or...
Yes.
Dissecting her boys and what they've done that day that 100%. She's quite happy to talk about. And
yes, love it.
Yeah, so that being in the moment is important, isn't it?
Yes, 100%.
Tom, I have spent all this time asking you questions.
Yes.
I'm a bit nervous about this one. You are now allowed to ask me.
I've written them down.
Wow.
One of them's a big one, and I think this is what everyone will want to know. But then I've got some quick fire ones that just are like colouring Paula. But my first one is, were you traumatised, and are you still traumatised by me taking the piss out of you for the 6 months leading up to the 2017 election?
I'm definitely not traumatised now. I wouldn't use the word traumatised. Look, let's be honest, I looked at some of them and you can't love everything, right? And some were, because it's a parody of me as well. It's not like, it's not a documentary.
No.
Right? So some I just sit there and go, But then I'm really good at moving on.
Good.
If I have an argument with someone, I need to address it, and then I literally couldn't tell you what the argument was about.
It could.
And that's two different personalities.
Youth. Okay. So you don't hold on, you never...
That's how I feel about
it. Oh, God. No. So you don't hold on to resentment or anything like that?
No.
Thank you, Paula.
Definitely not.
And did you sense that I also liked you?
Yeah, I did. I never felt it was cruel. So there may not have been ones I didn't like as much, but I never felt that you were a cruel person. And then the first contact we had was when you sent me a bunch of flowers to my office, and that absolutely made my day.
Oh, good.
Yeah, no, it genuinely did.
Oh, good.
The symbol of it, I think. Do you remember the first time we met?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just going to, anyone listening, are you ready? The first time we met, Tom smothered himself in butter from head to toe.
I know.
I almost don't want to explain.
No, I don't think we need to.
I don't think we should explain it.
I had to try and make you laugh, and I didn't very successfully. Okay, you ready for the quick fire ones? This is just a colour for me. How often are you out of your comfort zone?
Oh, that's a good question. Quite often, more now than I probably used to be. Because I don't know my job as well. I'm not the expert, but then I quite like it. So chaos being outside of it doesn't worry me.
Yeah.
In fact, I almost seek it out.
Yeah.
So
that's when you grow the most, isn't it?
Yeah. So I'm jumping off the Sky Tower. That is completely out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hang on, is that a metaphor or is that what you're actually doing?
No, I'm actually doing it.
When?
As a fundraiser for the Graham Dingle Foundation.
It's just that first step.
Yeah, I've got all sorts of strategies.
Yeah,
and
good.
It's just, so it's just weird. Anyway, okay, we're going to have you got one last one?
Yes.
Do a quickie.
Did life and politics ever make you cry?
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Not very often for me, but for other people. Oh, my God. I've heard some of the most traumatising personal stories from people, who have lived through hell. And how can you not be affected by that?
Okay, God.
Yeah, how can you not? So you should. Okay, the finale to our podcast is a little segment which is called Zip It, Sweetie.
Good.
So it's inspired, of course, by my famous Question Time report. It's a bit of an event that you get to do. So we share something or someone that has sort of killed our buzz and they need to zip it.
Yeah.
I could have talked about it earlier, but for me this week is Zip It, Sweetie to bad impersonators on social media. So I've currently got a company that are using my image and my endorsement illegally.
Oh, I hate that.
And I've got people that are spending money to buy this product. Like literally, it says something like take 1 teaspoon and you lose 31 kgs. And it was slightly funny to start with, and now it's just gotten, I feel quite sick about it, that it's being used like that. It's taking up so much of my time to get Facebook and everyone to close it down. So the bad and the illegal, effectively, is awful.
I have been in that situation before. It's like in the terms and conditions and getting in touch with a social media company to say, please, it's so hard. And I had the same, it was some kind of lottery thing, and I had a friend hoodwinked into giving money to it.
Awful, eh?
Oh, it's a horrible feeling.
Okay, Tom, so what do you want to say Zip It, Sweetie to?
I want to say zip it, sweetie. I've been thinking about this a lot. In Buddhism, it comes down to yourself, unfortunately. But I'm going to say zip it to hypochondria.
Oh.
And this week I've just been going onto WebMD and going, what are my symptoms? Oh no, I'm not going to see the week out. This headache means I'm on death's door. So zip it to hypochondria.
Okay, I like that. Thank you so much for your time today, Tom. I really appreciate it. It's a treat to have you here. So where can everyone find more of you, which we've been talking about?
Tom Sainsbury, comedian on Facebook, and Thomas Sainsbury on Instagram.
And any big magic shows that might be coming up or something like that, we'll keep a lookout for you as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Well, that's it for another episode of Ask Me Anything. You can get in touch with me by emailing paula.bennett@nzme.co.nz. Please feel free to send me through your questions for the podcast or any thoughts you have. You can also find me on Facebook, Instagram or LinkedIn. Make sure you follow Ask Me Anything on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts. You can also read my weekly column in the Herald on Sunday. I'm Paula Bennett. Ask Me Anything. Goodbye.